and then like any like kind of big takeaways that you had from the fantasy season here. Um, so let's start with the recapping kind of the fantasy season. Uh, the big thing that stuck out to me was, I mean, and it was maybe one of the biggest storylines in the NFL. It was the Denver Broncos. Um, the high expectations going in with that offense being led by Russell Wilson, all these weapons, Devontae and Melvin Gordon in the running game to keep things honest. I mean, you had everything you could ask for, um, but we kind of bought in, even though it was a first time head coach, and all of that kind of blew up on you. It didn't matter what piece you bought into, whether it was Russ, Cortland Sutton, Javante, because of the injury. Just kind of nothing worked out for any Broncos investing. So to move forward, you want to kind of remember you know, just to be a little, I guess maybe a bit hesitant if it's a first time head coach. You need to see a little something, and I guess it's okay if you invest in like one piece of the offense. Definitely be wary of investing in multiple pieces or any pieces early in the draft.
And we can talk about Deshaun Watson and maybe Matthew Stafford and maybe some other examples later. But quarterbacks moving teams after
Mm-hmm.
being with the team for a very long time has been pretty hit or miss lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's a recent thing or a historical thing, but I thought it's worth mentioning.
It's true. I mean, even last year when Matt Stafford won the Super Bowl with the Rams, he wasn't lighting it up, so to speak, for fantasy. Uh, so you could take that into consideration for sure. Yeah.
Uh, and we're gonna hit on this at some point, so why not now? Do you think
Hmm.
Matthew Stafford has a chance to retire?
Well, from what I understand, his neck is the problem, and it's the same neck injury as like Peyton Manning. So he has like swelling, I guess, around his spine, and he has to have some sort of surgery that would alleviate that and take care of it. And he's already come out and said he's not getting that surgery. So to play with it, he would basically he would be like Peyton Manning was at the end of his career, playing with something that could take him out at any time. Um, I think it's a very real shot for him to retire, but at the same time, like as soon as he as soon as he's on that roster on March something or other, $60 million is guaranteed to him. So he would have to basically walk away from that money, which I mean, the way that Baker played the last month or so with the Rams, it's not like anybody's going to be pushing Matthew Stafford out of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that they want him to play. Um, in what capacity? I don't know. And is he in line to retire? Does he have a chance to retire? I think he does. I think he does.
Yeah.
He certainly could. Yeah.
So how does that evaluation come into consideration when you're trying to evaluate that team from a dynasty perspective, and especially his guy Cooper Cup? You know.
Right. Cooper Cup being such a stud. You, if Matthew Stafford's out there, then you have all the confidence in the world in Cup, right? Because that's the connection that's
I mean,
been
that's his
so.
guy.
That's been the thing for fantasy. When those two on the field together, it's gold. So, other than that scenario, you kind of have to at least be taking Cooper Cup down a few steps because, like, it's too bad we didn't get to see it with Baker. Like, would Baker have been feeding him the same exact way that Stafford was? I'm sure he would have tried,
Yeah.
um, but would it have ended up the same? Probably not. So, yeah, whoever's quarterbacking besides Matthew Stafford, you have to take Cup down. And the rest of the team is showing you that, you know, outside of like Todd Gurley's run there, there isn't a whole lot of like the fantasy goodness is spread around in that offense a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the prospects for the Rams going forward is bleak. If Donald retires, like he's already alluded to, if McVay happens to leave, and Stafford's out, I mean, shoo, that team is going to be. It's going to be a brand new team. It's going to be so hard to wrap my head around like what that looks like. And then they have no picks. I mean,
Eesh,
it's
yeah.
it's a situation where you hope that Donald comes back that and maybe you can trade him or maybe you can get. I mean that to trade Aaron Donald is like blasphemous in a way, but
How
I don't know how you recoup any sort of like youth or depth without trading one of those superstars, and he's one of the ones that teams would actually pay for. You know, you're not going to get anything back near what you put in for Jalen Ramsey. Um, Cooper Kupp is too old at his position to garner like huge return.
mm-hmm.
Uh, it's really just Donald, and that's if he even has the will to play anymore, which it sounds like that's like iffy.
How many first round picks do you think you could get back for Aaron Donald?
Today for Aaron Donald, I bet a team would give up three firsts.
I was thinking the same thing. Three.
Yeah, a
Because,
team
I mean, he's
like
the best player in the NFL.
who could do that? Like the Jets, someone who like
What would I mean? They could theoretically, but who would it be in their best interest to do so as well? I feel like the
that's,
Jets kind of actually
the
fit in
Jets
both those
make
buckets
sense
a
to
little bit.
me. I mean, because that would just it would set their defense off.
They just need a
Um,
cornerback, man.
right. But I'm just saying a team like that that's just a piece or two away is the one that would make that kind of move
What
to
if
win
it
a
was
Super
like
Bowl.
man? I'm trying to think of a team with like a good quarterback, but like would need help on defense. Like,
Like the Bills.
ah, like could the Chargers afford that? You think,
Oh
or
my
do they not
God.
have the surplus of picks?
If they had Donald, Bosa, and Mac on the line, that'd be crazy.
Oh my, yeah, and then they got Derwin James too, who's one of the best players in like all the
Yeah.
defenses.
Yeah.
Man,
I mean, yeah, I don't know. There's teams out there that have the capital. It's just a matter of how they view themselves. Um, Pairing Donald with a lot of other teams or putting Donald on a lot of other teams would be just an interesting prospect. You know, there's so many guys out there you could pair him with, like Watt, for example,
ooh yeah.
In Pittsburgh. You know, and just create some monstrosity of a line there. Um, Shit, I mean, Donald in Tampa Bay next to Vita Vea would be insane. There's a lot of places that would just, you know, him being on a line with some other superstar would be something to behold.
Oh, most definitely. And real quick, while it doesn't, or before the thought evaporates, we need to acknowledge Mike Tomlin going 9-8, not going below 500 for the 103rd season straight. Very impressive for a coach to do it for that long. Um, it's just great. Uh,
It,
and then I mean Kenny Pickett, he 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 finished the season very strong. Him and Jerry Judy were two low key winners of the season that aren't going to be in the playoffs. Um, I mean, we can talk about Jerry Judy later, but
well, expand on George Pickens. What did you like about him? What did you not like?
I I I mean, so I saw this tweet. It was like George Pickens does the hard things well and the easy things not so well. So he's like pushed up, and that kind of makes like sense to me. But he was scoring touchdowns, and he developed a chemistry with Kenny Pickett, and I think I I had more faith instilled in me those last like 4 or 5 weeks with Kenny Pickett than I did like the first 10 weeks, like or whatever, because he was marching on the field and he was slinging it. I mean, he was slinging it. I mean, Deontay didn't score at all. Kenny Pickens, or no wait, not Kenny Pickett. George Pickens was that dude. I mean, obviously Pat Fryermuth is not him. So I mean, I just think I think Deontay is very talented, but I think I mean, especially after they traded away Claypool, they want him to be the dude going forward. And I thought Kenny Pickett was pretty good, so I want both those guys.
Okay. I liked what Pickens brought to the table physically. The contested catches were obviously awesome, and the standout part of his game,
His
um,
highlights.
the separation and garnering a target share was the thing that brought me a cause for concern. I didn't see him have one game with over 10 targets. Maybe that's because of Deontay Johnson and him
Mm-hmm.
taking away so much and them relying more on a run game and not a pass happy attack. Maybe if they broke 45 attempts in a game, maybe he gets up there. I don't know. But that's my only thing is like, is he getting enough separation to garner a larger target?
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna throw a couple of names at you, and then they're all rookie receivers. Rank them in dynasty for me. So we got
Okay.
Jahan Dotson, Christian Watson, and George Pickens.
Mm. I think Pickens is third on that list right now.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Watson is shown to be awesome. The only problem that Watson has shown me is injury concerns. So
Mm-hmm.
if he can avoid those, he's shown to be certainly athletic enough and bursty enough um, to and drawing. He's already drawing a bunch of targets in the red zone. I mean, he's
Mm-hmm.
kind of just doing everything that you want to be, and he's tied to Aaron Rodgers. Dotson has shown. I think I heard his red zone target share over the season is something astronomical. I want to say it's over
Mm-hmm.
50%.
I
It's like it's
I've
like
been
crazy.
the most impressive thing from Dotson, like for me, is he's been able to earn targets with a lot of talent. I mean,
Mm,
like Logan Thomas is like fifth on that depth chart, and he's like a stud, big like 6'7" athletic tight end. Obviously,
right.
Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, like there's a whole bunch of guys, and he's getting his. But my only thing with Christian Watson is it seems like Aaron Rodgers is, and we can talk about Aaron Rodgers a bunch.
Hmm.
It seems like he specifically was trying to get uh, Christian Watson the ball. Not so much Green Bay, but he wanted to get Watson going. And if Aaron Rodgers leaves, I don't know if there's going to be that sense of urgency to get Watson the ball. And we know there's guys like Romeo Dubs who is a young receiver growing up, and I think Alan Lazard is going to leave, but um, this I mean, the number one receiver is wide open in this depth chart, but I'm not sure how desirable it's going to be. I mean, because we saw like Aaron Rodgers, like giving Randall Cobb a hug leaving the field. Like I don't think we're going to see him in a Packers uniform, and or like at best it's like 50-50. So I don't know. Like I'm just torn there.
I understand that, but what you're buying into with Christian Watson is the explosiveness. So
He has the
um,
juice.
he's got the juice. He can jump out the gym, all that stuff. The athleticism is what you're buying into with him. In a way, he's an even better version of Gabriel Davis, and younger with that type of like archetype. He's red zone monster, big play monster. Um, you know, I think he can even jump higher than Gabe and win those contested catches in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe might just have him in like the strength category, but that would be about it. He's definitely not. Watson's definitely faster, um, and I'm sure that their route running is, if not in line, Watson might even already have a step on
Mm-hmm.
him. So with that said, I love that type of player on my team. Um, he's not the guy that you're going to be relying on. If he gets up into like wide receiver one price range, then that's too much, But if I'm paying wide receiver 20 or
20.
lower,
20. Yep, that's the number.
that's where I'm definitely pulling the trigger on a guy like Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, for those three guys that you're asking about, that's why I pick him. Um, and he's shown to me that he can create more separation than Pickens can.
Mm-hmm.
And he has the better quarterback. And with that, whoever like whoever Green Bay brings in at quarterback, if they lose Aaron Rodgers, Watson won't suffer that much because they've already shown that they're going to use him in the run game too,
Mm-hmm.
sweeps and whatnot. So he's got that added extra.
My only pushback on that whole thing, I loved all of it except for that very last part. I think I don't know the exact numbers, but I know Kenny Pickett had like an 80 plus PFF grade weeks like 11 through 5th or like 14. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
playing like really well down the stretch, and he seemed to be developing a chemistry like as a rookie with Pickens like coming in like it's that like whole narrative of like giving Joe Burrow a receiver like in the
Mm-hmm.
same draft class of like T Higgins and like bringing it in, and they'll have a season to grow. So I don't know if Aaron Rodgers leaves, if the quarterback play would be better for Watson, considering that there could be growth between those two guys. But I mean,
So
if
you're saying, so you're saying that like, okay, Rodgers gone, Jordan Love steps in.
mhm.
Jordan Love's quarterback play would be lesser than Pickett's.
I would say so, just
Okay,
based on like what we've seen, because I'm not a huge Jordan Love fan. I mean, he could prove us wrong,
I
but
just I feel like they're very similar. They're actually very similar in terms of like target share. It's just that explosive play. Pickens isn't gonna like. Can you imagine Pickens catching and running and beating a DB to the like to the end zone?
no.
No, he's gonna get caught every time, right?
The trade off of Watson versus Pickens is Watson has crazy juice, but Pickens just makes spectacular plays very consistently, and I like just the like he'll have the most impressive 2 for 53 game ever with like two one-handed catches, and you're like holy shit, and Watson would just have like no catches that game.
In your one-handed catch league, where you get those extra points, that's awesome.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah.
I don't know. It's a great debate. I mean, it's going to be one that we can have for a few years now. You know, with Watson and Pickens,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be good. I think that they both have immense potential. Can they realize it? We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. You
So
know.
so both Watson and Pickens, right? Bigger. I'm not gonna say established, but we know they're not bums, right?
Hmm.
Semi-established NFL receivers at this point, one season in. Would you rather have these guys or the two guys right under the stud that is Quentin Johnson? So I'm asking, would you rather have Watson? Wait, no. All right, rank these four: Watson and Pickens. Like I already know like that, but Jordan Addison and JSN as well.
Hmm.
Two slimmer guys and two bigger guys.
I mean, you have to go with what's proven at that in this situation. Give me what's proven for now. And
So
as opposed to what's the unknown and where they land and all of that, it's too hard to say. But like in a vacuum, talent wise, they're close enough to say like that it's negligible.
you think so?
Yeah.
I, I just think like so if like is it possible that like Jordan Addison gets top 15, 20 draft capital?
I guess I would have to see him play more. I
Yeah.
don't know. What do you think? Do you think he's definitely locked into top 20?
I I don't know. I've just seen a couple mock drafts. I think I saw one where he went 15, one where he went 13. So if he
I
gets
mean,
that like
all those mock drafts are always like
trying
they
to
can,
like make
they
headlines.
they can be offensive heavy too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You just how often do you have we seen? I guess these teams are going for offensive talent in the first round recently, but I don't know. Not as much as I think is mocked is my
Mm-hmm.
point. Um, I could easily see that him sliding down. I mean, offensive tackle is so important, and teams know that.
It's just like man, guys like Kadarius Tony somehow slip into the first round, like number 25, and you're like, what? Like,
Well,
I mean, and like he's like like a whole like different like archetype of player.
you
But
can bank on a couple teams in the league though making those odd picks, and
Raiders,
the Raiders,
um,
Giants, Jags.
yeah.
Jags haven't been too bad actually, but
But I mean, Trayvon Walker, that sticks out so weirdly because I mean, they nailed the Trevor Lawrence pick. Um,
yeah,
I mean, you didn't have to know that, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Uh, let's talk about this wild card round coming up. Looking into the playoffs and the Seahawks 49ers being that first game coming up on Saturday. Do you think the Seahawks have a chance at all in this? And is Geno going to be around in Seattle next season?
To answer the first question, I don't think they have a chance, unfortunately. But I do think Gino had a decent chance of returning. Um, yeah, I'm really interested to see what because like I could see him getting 25 to 30 million. I don't know if Seattle's gonna dish out that because it like they're just in such a great spot right now after the Russ trade. I'm really curious to see what happens with them. Um, yeah, what do you think about it?
I don't think they have a chance against that defense. Frisco's defense it's been like mortal the last couple of weeks, but yeah, they're just so dominant. So I don't know. I don't see Seattle winning the game. If they make it competitive, I would actually be surprised. So that said, I think there's a chance that Seattle. I think that they still draft a quarterback, even if they keep Geno around. I think that's their play is to, then they can
Not,
because
yeah,
this QB pool is, it's a little top heavy, right? But like the guys underneath of them, they're not slam dunks, but they've shown like some real flashes. So if you can get that kind of guy some reps in his first year and not rely on him and allow them to learn, that's how that player, in my opinion, is their potential is realized.
what what pick do they have again?
Well, they have the Broncos first pick, don't they?
Which is number 2 or 3.
It's going to be a top 3 pick. Yeah.
Wow. So are they looking at maybe Levis or Stroud?
I would think that they have to trade that pick down.
Yeah.
They trade down from that pick to a team who, if Stroud is on the board, they trade down to a team who really wants Stroud.
Yeah.
And then they capitalize that way, with another O lineman and whatever other need they feel they have to address. Do they go for a weapon and then a quarterback in the second round after O line and yeah, after O line early? I don't know.
We'll see.
I just think that they have to, if they're looking at Stroud on the board, they have to trade down, in my opinion. Otherwise, the move is they'd have to like kind of get rid of Geno because Stroud is a player who has to start right away.
Yeah. This is entirely a different player. But man, I think I'm a Will Levis fan. Like, I kind of fell in love with like him throwing it 6,000 yards. Just
Yeah, man.
SEC competition. I don't know. It's great.
Those kind of players, like
They're
they
so fun
can,
to watch.
they have a wide range of outcomes, and to put it in like a player's perspective, they could end up like Baker Mayfield, who was a gunslinger in college and just let it rip and it was great, or they could end up like Matthew Stafford, who still lets it rip in the NFL and he gets by. They don't people don't look down on him like they do Baker,
He's letting it rip.
but he's out there just letting it rip, throwing it deep. That's what he does.
Yes, sir. Jameis Winston is
Jameis, you know,
the
he's
gunslinger.
somewhere in between there, maybe only a little bit above Baker, but you know, there's room in the NFL for those kinds of guys. Hey, Fitzpatrick, he was that kind of guy.
Yo, I have you heard the Blaine Gabbert clip where he's like, "Check me out, Daddy's about to sling it," like just. That's what I think of like gunslingers. Hey yo, I'm about to sling it. Like just fucking every play, fucking sidearm.
Blaine is
Yeah, no, no,
crazy. What a wild boy.
crazy.
Um, Tell
Yeah.
me about the Chargers and Jags because I think this game has got shootout written all over it.
Jags scorching hot.
Mm-hmm.
Chargers seems like for 5 years now they've been a playoff team, but they've never done any, or like made any noise. But
Right,
I don't
but
know. These are
that's a,
two legit teams.
that's the thing. Yeah, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think that the Chargers, you know, they're just a good team, right? They're not
Mm-hmm.
they don't stand out in any particular area, but they do have a really good quarterback, and that's going to give you a chance to win any football game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, Chargers definitely have a good chance at winning this game. Jaguars are, like you said, scorching hot for 2 months now, and there's no reason that they can't outscore the Chargers here. So I think this is one maybe shoot, they could put up 100 points in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who knows? But
I
I'm
will.
very excited to see this game.
I will say though, I haven't checked the score of the Orlando Magic and Sacramento Kings game yet, but in NBA DFS, one guy that's been perpetually underperforming me is Franz Wagner. I just keep playing him, and he just keeps busting. But I'm gonna keep going back to the well. You know what I'm saying? But
It's that's over. That well is dried up because Banchero is there, and
he's so good. He's
he's
so good.
sucking it all up. Yeah.
But I brought up this because Justin Herbert has been that guy for NFL for me. I keep playing Herbert and he keeps busting.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like he's had a disappointing year.
But
By his
Eckler was
standards.
RB1, so there's
Yeah.
your solace. You know,
He kind of soaked it all up.
there's your, you can always say like, well, he RB1, he took all the touchdowns, took all the equity out of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if that's gonna slide back towards the quarterback next year. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and what was going on with the wide receiver core over there? This the whole year they had in
Banged
and
up.
out. Everybody's banged up, in and out, in and out, in and out. And there,
You
you know,
have two
Palmer is his most
$20 million
reliable.
receivers.
Yeah, I mean, there's a candidate to jump on a wide receiver in the first round because that's all you know. A good wide receiver sets them off. Who stays in the lineup? If Quentin Johnson ends up in San Diego or in LA now in the
That would be
Chargers
silly.
offense, my God, I would be very happy.
I I saw I mean Quinn Johnson would just be I mean come on now. But Joshua I saw one that was Joshua Downs. I feel like that'd be a great fit. Where he's just shaking
Mm-mm.
down the field
Mm-hmm.
and man
You know, now that I think about it, man, if Johnston could learn some route running from Keenan Allen, holy crap, man,
and
he would.
and he's built like Mike Williams, like whew.
R- Exactly,
But
but
he
he is like a Keenan Allen style. Like he wants to run routes. He wants to turn his guys around and just be wide open to get a little yak.
uh,
Yeah, man. Whew.
here here's here's a little like Quentin Johnson hype. So he's built like Mike Williams. He's as fast as any receiver on the roster, and ideally he's gonna be running routes like Keenan Allen. Like he like that dude's the whole package. Come on.
Yep. Very excited for him in the NFL. Can't wait to see where he lands. Yeah, it's gonna be a good draft, man. I'm excited for this one.
Most definitely. Most definitely.
Um, so that was the Saturday games. Let's jump into Sunday real quick and get through these before we run out of time. Dolphins and Bills first. Who you taking? I don't know. The Bills.
Give me the Bills.
I mean, give me the Bills. How do you bet against the Bills here? But two is not playing, right?
I don't think so. And it's Bills Mafia, and I think Skylar Thompson played last week. So like it was even Bridgewater.
I mean, you just can't. Yeah, it's gonna be too much for that kid.
And
And
there
Bills.
is there is a world where there's two long touchdowns from Tyreek and Waddle, and then the defense clutches up and they win. But that's like a 20% outcome, I'd say. Like I think Bills take care of business here and move on.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's going to be a tough sell for the Dolphins to win that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Giants Vikings.
Oh,
Oh shit.
if it was Packers Vikings, and I'm in the Packers room today, I guess. Um, if it was Packers Vikings, I'm taking the Packers all day. But as we know, the Packers did not take care of business, and the Lions played spoiler. So
Yeah.
now we're looking at Daniel Jones and Saquon, and I think I'm gonna have to take the Vikings just because they're at home. But I like they are most definitely on upset alert here because Daniel Jones is not going to be playing, and I think his first playoff game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants in this one. I think that the Vikings defense is too shaky. I think that Daniel Jones is hot right now. Saquon's been kind of reserved for this game. Um,
Oh man,
I don't
if you
know.
get a vintage Saquon game here, like 6 yards per touch, it's gonna be tough.
I don't see the Vikings containing this offense here, and the Giants are strong enough on defense that they can cause problems for Kirk. Kirk Cousins is beatable,
Mm-hmm.
especially in big games. He's shown to crumble. So I
Mm-hmm.
have a very hard time picking the Vikings in this one.
I mean,
Uh,
I just think for as bad as the Vikings defense is, you're getting 3 points for home field, just as a rule of thumb, and you're still talking about Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook and T.J. Hawkinson and company. There's a lot of talent on that offense for as bad as Kirk Cousins is. Um, and I mean I'm a huge Daniel Jones fan, but man, he's done so much for what weapons he has. He's thrown to Isaiah Hodgins and Darius Slayton and Kenny Galladay. I mean it's rough. Daniel Bellinger, Richie James. It's a bunch of nobodies.
he's just getting it done, man. I don't
Yeah.
know. That's gonna be a good game to watch for sure. I really think that the Giants have a very good chance of pulling it out,
Oh yeah.
but the Vikings are the quintessential favorite.
Vikings are an upset alert, 100% right now.
Uh, okay, Ravens and Bengals a little later on. What do you think?
Man, this is a tough one, but I think you gotta say the Bengals. I mean, is Lamar playing? Is the question.
From what, I haven't seen that he's even practiced in like several weeks. It's
Mm-hmm.
at least a month. Hasn't practiced. Haven't seen a new alert that he is practicing.
You gotta
I
assume
don't,
he's out.
gotta assume he's out. Even if he does come back, I mean, it's his first game in a month. The offense has been putrid all season. You know, outside of the like first few weeks. Um, I don't know how the Ravens can win this game. I think that they are dead in the water already. If they can pull off an upset here, I mean, I don't know. You probably can get some decent money on the Ravens money line right now.
Mm-hmm. You think the Bengals um, are on the level of a Chiefs and Bills team?
No,
No.
because I still don't see Joe Burrow. I still see him a step behind Mahomes and what they can do with that offense. Just a step, and they definitely don't have the defense that the Bills have.
No.
So they're just the one tier below those two teams, though.
Okay.
You know, they're knocking on the door.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that they got this one in the bag. You know, just come and do. You know, everybody do their job, and they should just walk out easily with a W, kind of
Fair
thing.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then the last one in the wild card round, Dallas Cowboys and Tampa. Somehow Tom Brady makes it back into the playoffs on the back of a defense, you know, a few, and then, you know, timely performances, timely Tom. I mean, just here we are again.
It's stressing me out, man. Uh,
It,
um,
do you think he can pull off the other upset that's, you know, here waiting for us? I think that this is the other one on the wall, that the Bucks oust the Cowboys, and we get to see more Cowboy fans cry, and we get to see Tom Brady celebrate another playoff win, so that the media can go off all week about how he's 45 and he's gonna win.
So here's the thing is that's bugging me, right?
Okay,
So Dallas is humming, or they were for a while,
they were. Mm-hmm.
and these past 2 weeks, I've been let down by the running game specifically. But I mean,
Mm.
I mean, they like if you would have asked this question 2 weeks ago, I'm picking Dallas all day, all week. But I think I saw the stat that or Dak has the longest interception streak in the NFL. He has like 7 straight games like with the pick.
Oh my
Um,
god.
I mean, this team's a little bit disastrous. And I mean, earlier in the year, they were getting carried by their defense. Micah Parsons was insane. Micah Parsons, that dude's hilarious. I don't even know. Um, but now I'm not picking the Cowboys. I mean, I don't know what to say.
I can't.
I can't do
I
it.
think can't do it. Can't even do it. I mean, they like you said, they were hot. I was doing like a pool at work where we pick a team every week, kind of thing, and if they win, you get the amount of points that they won by added to your score.
Hmm.
And I forget what week it was. I picked the Cowboys, but they lost, and they were like huge favorites. I think was it the Texans game? Did they
Oh yeah,
or no?
yeah.
They won by a field goal or something late.
I think they might have lost to the Texans. I'm not gonna lie.
So yeah,
I don't know.
I like double down on the Cowboys, and they just still shit the bed for me. So after that, it's like, I mean, and I've never been one to kind of back the Cowboys in the first place. They've always just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I've kind of always been, a little down on most of their players.
Hmm.
Um, I got high on Dak for a little while, and that backfired really fast.
Can't do it. Can't do
So
it.
I don't know, man. There's something about the Cowboys. I just stay away, and it's usually for the better.
Yeah. Um, not a, typically not a good time to be playing your worst ball last couple of
Mhm.
weeks. So I don't.
Right,
Yeah.
and you can say just the opposite for Tampa. Now
Yeah.
Tom and the offense have finally shown some life, and uh, yeah, I think that they can come into this game and win. And are they not at home? It's in Tampa. I mean,
I I think they are because they're the division winner, and I can see
yeah,
Gronk coming back.
Gronk coming back for this one. Totally, man. I don't know. I don't. I think that the Bucks kind of got this one in the bag.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Whatever their spread money line is, it's it's not good enough. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. So there we go. Quick recap. We're gonna take the 49ers. I'm taking the Jaguars. Taking the Bills, the Giants, Bengals, and Bucks.
There we go.
Love it.
So next week we'll have the winner of those. So it'll be 3 teams plus
Mm-hmm.
the two. How many games will be next week?
So we'll have, I think,
4.
yeah, just 4.
Wow.
Yep.
Season's coming to a close.
Something cool close. Anything that you want to end the pod on? Anything you got to say to the people?
Man, not really. I'm getting into a little bit of college stuff, man. There's a lot of like interesting prospects. I
Mm-hmm.
think Zay Flowers is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Jameer Gibbs, he looks like a beast. I don't know, man. I'm just excited. It's
That's what's
a
up.
lot of football, you know.
Hell yeah. I'm ready to look at some prospects too and get into it with you, chop it up about these guys. I mean, we got to at least come up with a few favorites
Almost definitely.
at each position. And I just want to end the pod saying what's up to the boys. Shout out to the group chat. Shout out to the One Thought Fantasy chat. I mean, going strong for a few years now, and
Let's go.
just what's up, boys?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's good times in there, and I appreciate all you guys. So yeah,
So yeah, bro. Hey man, it's always great talking to you, bro.
For
Always
sure.
great talking to you, man.
Appreciate you having me on, and look forward to talking more after these wild card round. And yeah, some football, man. Some really
Hell
good
yeah,
football
bro.
coming up here this weekend. Enjoy, everybody.
Hell yeah, bro.
All right.
Alright, man. I'll catch you on the flip.
Peace out.
Peace out. Hey, that's the man right there. Come on.